Hey, everybody. We got a jam packed episode for you here today. Today, we're talking about the Nephilim giants, and it's going to be one hell of an episode. Good morning, good afternoon, good
evening and
evening,
good night.
even. Welcome to Cryptid Conversations. I'm your host, Blue. With me today is the always enigmatic, caffeinated creature of chaos,
True. It's true.
Michelle. And we have with us also Torsten of the wonderful British Isles. Today we're talking about the Nephilim giants. There's been a lot of things talked about giants in recent history, so let's get into it with a little bit of an overview. Torsten, you want to give us a little overview of the Nephilim, please?
A little bit of sort of entomology and history for you.
Ooh.
Which I love my history. Not generally on this type of subject though, but here we go. The Nephilim are mysterious beings or humans. In the Bible, traditionally understood as being of great size and strength, or alternatively being of great power and authority. The origins of them are disputed. Some, including the author of the Bible of Enoch, view them as the offspring of rebellious angels and humans. Others view them as the descendants of both Seth and Cain.
I think I would like to be described forevermore as a rebellious angel.
Rebellious angel.
Yeah, I think I identify with that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
All right, move ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, go ahead, Torsten.
Yeah, there is lots of reference to them in the Bible, but the passages are very, very ambiguous, and the identity is very much disputed. Some say that they are, according to this, 10 of the 12 spies from a verse in Numbers report the existence of Nephilim in Canaan prior to the conquest of the Israelites. Similar or identical biblical Hebrew term reads as Nephilim by some Nephilim, or as the word fallen by others. And Ezekiel is also mentioned in a Deuteronomical. It's also mentioned in the Deuteronomical books of Judith, Zerach, Burach, and in Wisdoms. The term Nephilim is often referred to as giants, although the exact meaning remains debated. The Brown Driver Briggs lexicon defines it as giants, but warns that all proposed etymologies are uncertain. Many scholars connect the word with the Hebrew root enthiel, to fall. Interpreting Nephilim is either fallen ones or those who chose other, or those who cause others to fall. So you can look at that either way. Ancient translations differ. The Septuagint Vulgate and several
she's working a double today.
And several Targums rendered it as giants, while others interpret it as violent ones or those who attack. Interpretations vary widely across traditions. Second Temple texts in Enoch and Jubilees depict the Nephilim as offspring of fallen angels, watchers, and human women, portraying them as evil giants whose corruption led to the flood. Early Christian and Jewish sources split between angelic and human hybrid explanations. Some viewed them as descendants of Seth, intermarrying with Cain's line. So, anybody that doesn't know, Seth was the baby brother of Cain and Abel. Cain being obviously
Cain.
cursed as
The cursed one.
The first man the first human to commit murder.
Murder.
By beating his own brother to death with a rock. While others upheld the fallen angel theory, later supported by the Dead Sea Scrolls. In Islamic tradition links them to the tribe of Ad, while other theories associate them with Sumerian Apokulu myths or elite Canaanite warriors.
I would like to say that as someone who has brother/brothers, maybe he deserved it.
He done it through jealousy.
Maybe he deserved it. I'm just throwing it out there that there's reason for it.
But there are plenty of people that may deserve something, but not really. So our place to be dealing out.
Maybe he just like threw the rock at them in just sheer annoyance, and the rock hit him in the temple, and it just got him. Maybe it was an accident. There's no documentation that shows that it wasn't an accident. I say we have a trial.
Okay,
come on.
We're a few thousand years late.
It's never too late for justice.
So over time, the Nephilim have been reimagined in popular culture, appearing in novels, films, video games. Conspiracy theories have been written since the dawn of freaking time, where they are often depicted as powerful hybrids, ancient gods, or remains of a lost superhuman race. I am more to the view of they were just really, really tall humans. Yeah, they were
like
big
these guys.
Yeah, big, strong. I'm thinking like Goliath, type size, oversized humans.
Now, something interesting about these guys. Supposedly, they were around the time of the Great Flood.
Yes,
and
survived the goddamn thing.
The God decided to do the Great Flood, wipe out all things that he deemed unclean, unworthy, and these things still survived.
Yeah. Okay, so theory. I wasn't talking to you. I feel that in certain places, in regions that did not see a lot of other travelers from other areas, where the average height of a general man in that area of the Middle East during that time frame was probably in the 5'5" to 5'8" range. So let's just say that someone from Scandinavia or from a different region was there in some way, shape, or form, however they managed to create some sort of like floating device to get there. if they see this person who's 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet, they're going to think supernatural or of the gods versus just someone who lives a little bit further away, especially with the differences in skin color, skin tone, hair, all of those things, where you and we hear hoofbeats, we think horse. We don't think monster super horse with wings and purple stripes.
Okay.
Mm.
I see your train of thought here.
Occam's razor is what I'm hinting at. The most likely.
There are also accounts in the Bible and also in the Jewish tomes that they sent people into a region known for it being the homeland of the Canaanites, which were the descendants of Cain. And they said, we cannot attack these people. They are much larger and stronger than us. So, I mean, much larger. It's up to interpretation.
It's also the game of telephone.
Yeah.
So you and I, all of us remember that game when we were little. It's I don't know what it was called in most places, but telephone, where you whisper something into one guy's ear, then they whisper it into the next guy's, and you see what the difference was between where it started and where it ended.
Yeah, we over here we call it Chinese whispers.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's politically incorrect.
It's what it's called. It's historic. I get it. But all I'm saying is there's a difference between the time that these things supposedly occurred, the written language, the documentation wasn't there. So it was word of mouth. So as you're going through telling your son, you know, I met this guy and he was 2 feet taller than I was. And then his son tells his son, my dad met someone who was 3 feet taller than I was. And then his son, by the time it gets to like this 9th generation down, that dude was 14 feet tall and had purple hair and, you know, a redhead. No, he had red hair. And, you know, he rode a scorpion. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no documentation to prove it. So there's also no documentation to not prove it.
Well, and you can also get into the whole conspiracy theory of it all too, as well. That governments don't want people to know that this race of giants exists.
Again, I go back to the razor.
Well, according to some, you and me would be classed as giants.
True.
We're over 6 foot tall.
I identify as a gnome.
You go back to the Christian Bible, the story of David and Goliath. David, 5 foot something. Goliath was said to have been between 7 and 8 foot tall.
Yeah, and in some iterations, he's 9 feet tall.
9 feet tall. And again, it's that thing. It's oral tradition to written tradition, from one language to another language. Nothing is ever perfectly translated. Even today, there are words in some languages that do not translate into English. There isn't an English word for it, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So there's always going to be things, especially from ancient history, that we're not going to really understand.
Yeah,
I'm a
and know the truth of.
Gnome with a G.
Kate also said before, who says Abel wasn't the evil one all along?
She's not wrong.
Just doing us a favor.
Yeah. She's not wrong.
You're getting into SCP Foundation type thought there. We might actually start covering some SCPs. I think that it's worth a shot, but you know, we'll move along from there. But to piggyback off of what Torsten said, I found something very interesting that was making the rounds since about 2002.
Yep.
And that's the story of the Kandahar giant. Being that I've been to Kandahar, I can tell you there are massive cave systems and massive structures that are built into the side of the mountains.
So since Jasper's not here, I do want to throw in a Jasperism.
Okay.
Large cave systems.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
what happens when I go in from the back door? Anyway,
that's no. I was saying that they're all interconnected in the bottom, and all the cave systems are interconnected, and that's why everything is
Hollow Earth.
That's what I was trying to say, but I forgot the word.
All right. So anyway, this first came about. The story of the Kandahar giant first came about from the radio show Coast to Coast with Steve. I'm going to say his last name is Quayle. Maybe I can't pronounce this damn name.
So it's Coast to Coast AM.
Coast to Coast.
And it was hosted by George Noonie.
All right, George Noonie, whatever. But it says his story was spoken by Steve Quayle. Anyway.
Steve Quayle is the one who told the story.
He was the one who told the story.
The host of Coast to Coast AM. Yeah.
When a U.S. Army Special Forces and Special Ops group branches were unknown, possibly Rangers, considering the missing squad was Army, was sent to find out what had happened to this missing squad. The soldiers walked along a ragged, mountainous trail until arriving at the entrance of a large cave. Pieces of broken U.S. military equipment and gear were scattered all around the clearing in front of the cave. The task force was about to enter the cave to explore its recesses when a 12 to 15 foot red-headed 6-digit double-toothed humanoid emerged and attacked the soldiers.
Double-toothed as in 2 teeth, or double-toothed as in 2 rows of teeth?
2 rows of teeth.
Something out of nightmares, man.
That's
did they indulge in any of the local delicacies before or during this trip?
I have no idea.
Poppy fields in those areas.
Well, this thing emerged from the cave, attacked the soldiers. The giant impaled, quote unquote, Dan with a giant spear and proceeded to attack the rest of the squad. The witness states that it took 30 seconds of continuous fire to down the giant.
I can bring that giant down in less than 30 seconds.
Mind you, all these soldiers were probably carrying fully automatic M4 carbines, aka the recon carbine, semi-automatic, and M107 Barrett anti-material rifles firing 50 BMG. This much firepower concentrated on one target for 1 second, let alone 30, would be extremely destructive. No shit. That amount of firepower for 1 second, I know could take down a freaking wall.
It would rip the wall in half.
Yeah.
If not more than
and
half.
go clear through and take down the next wall.
Yeah.
especially when you're using 50 BMG. All right. Now, okay, according to the witness, the giant wore canvas or animal hide coverings to protect its feet like moccasins and smelt like dead bodies. The creature's body was airlifted back to the squad's base by helicopter and net. From there, it was loaded onto an aircraft and taken away, never to be seen again. Let's see. Upon their return, soldiers were made to sign non-disclosure paperwork to stop the word spreading of their encounter. The witness states that he broke his silence because people have the right to know what's happening on our planet. If this was real, he'd be in a prison cell. Just saying.
Yeah.
If he signed an NDA, and especially when it comes to government level, you know.
But if they were special forces anyway, those guys don't talk.
All right. So, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to say this with the intent of being the naysayer of this group.
Mm-hmm.
There is no secondary information. There's no second source. There's no documentation. There's no verifiable proof. There's no photos. There's no confirmed witnesses. It was a rumor only.
This is supposedly what it looked like.
The group of special forces that this person claimed to have been in the situation was nowhere near documented to be nowhere near where this thing would have happened. The ability for the military is prepared for things. Let's not joke, but how would they just randomly be able to access a gigantic net big enough to carry this thing? And how would they block people from seeing it from miles away if it's as big as it is what they were saying it was? Unless they flew close to the ground, but then you'd have to kill everyone that witnessed you carry this thing. So I feel that this story is exactly that. It is a story.
Yeah. Well, the allegations are abundant of this thing being a hoax. The Department of Defense has no official records of the incident.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, not that the Department of Defense would admit that they had evidence.
Well, sorry, they're not the Department of Defense anymore. The Department of War.
Oh, Department of War. Yes.
Does not have any records on this. Even if they did, you need top security clearance if something like this did happen.
Right. I mean, as I think all three of us.
Military bases are like mothers' meetings. Yeah. Everybody talks to each other.
Everybody talks to each other, but nobody talks to anybody that matters.
But, the three of us being, having either served or still serving.
Yeah.
We all know that if you see some weird shit and someone comes at you with a non-disclosure, by the time you get home, 72 people have already reported it to the local news. I mean, seriously, like it is exactly that. We as soldiers, sailors, we cannot keep our goddamn mouths shut.
Loose lips sink ships, and not for nothing, we're all a bunch of fucking crazy people that fucking sit there and talk shit.
It's a mother's meeting. It's a mother's meeting.
Yeah, it's a mother's meeting. We all sit there and gossip.
We're a bunch of gossipy.
Whether you're a Marine, whether you're Navy. Army, whether you're Navy, whether you're Coast Guard, whether you're,
Coast
and nobody talks, but nobody talks to the Air Force.
Nobody talks to the Air Force because they're a bunch of babies. But
I can't say that anymore because my niece is accepting a commission in the Air Force.
I'm still going to make fun of her for it. Air Force.
Oh,
anyway, was it taken to a special location in Nevada deserts? Asked Kate. Kate, I'm gonna say this: if it was taken to the Nevada desert, it would have taken a shitload of time, and that shit would have been on a fucking ship at some point, and sailors would have seen it.
Sailors
Mm.
are the worst. As a former sailor,
Oh,
we're the worst.
mhm.
So had
Yeah.
that thing been on our ship, like there would have been like search parties. Like I probably would have led it. If it were on my aircraft carrier, I would have said, "Come on, guys! I hear there's some shit going down. Let's go look at every
Let's
single.
go check out the hangar.
Check it out." Like seriously, I did sound and security watch at like 2 a.m. Like I would have found some. I did find some shit. Let's just not talk about what happened.
We're not talking about that.
Let's not talk about what.
We're not talking about that.
Anyway, so we need an after dark show.
Yeah, we do.
There is nothing that goes on a base, on a ship, in like around an air base, anything like that somebody doesn't know somebody that knows something that knows something.
Oh God, the things that I know.
Kate says, "Hey, Grandpa was Air Force. Don't be mean." I know he was Air Force, but we're the only ones who are allowed to make fun of other military personnel. We're the only ones who are allowed to make fun of them.
Truth.
Anybody else does, you're getting fucking kneecapped.
Hey, as soon as my niece is graduating from law school, so she's taking a commission as a JAG with the Air Force.
Ooh. Have met my fair share of JAG officers.
I 100%, like after hearing her like reasoning for it, makes complete sense. I fully support this. So as soon as she signs that commission, I will put my oh God, that hurts to say out loud, my disdain for the Air Force aside, and I will support her.
As a JAG, if she's going in as a JAG officer,
she will be exposed to a lot of different cases and case types that she would not be exposed to
exactly
just going in as a junior lawyer to a firm. So the reasoning is solid.
Yeah. So therefore, I am not going to give her too much shit. Anyway. All right. So that was
just rib on the uniform.
Obviously. All right. That was the Giant of Kandahar. But I think we could all safely say this is a BS story.
BS.
I just found it interesting because it's a modern day fantasy, and I just thought it was pretty cool. Michelle,
hi.
What do you got for us?
Oh my goodness! All right.
And when do you want me to put pictures up? Because I'll tell you.
I'm gonna need you to hold on to the pictures for a second because I need to get there first.
All right.
All right. So when we started talking about the idea of Nephilim, I immediately thought of something that was close to my location here in Virginia. Mm-hmm. If we travel down on the map, I don't know what direction that is. I'm looking at the map of the
south.
Down one
south.
South.
Math is hard, and so is directions. To North Carolina, there is something there, and we have talked. Hold on, let me go backwards. We've covered some incredible things so far on our multiple episodes of this. What brought me there is the Appalachia episode, the weird shit that happens in Appalachia. Mm-hmm. So my weird brain starts going on this little trip, and I land back in Appalachia. So let's just briefly review. The Appalachian Mountains are perfect for this legend, for the whole idea of the Nephilim. They're some of the oldest mountains on Earth, nearly 500 million years old, stretching from Canada all the way down to Alabama. So we are going to be talking about a Cherokee legend today of a giant of sorts. We'll get into that in a second. The Cherokee lived what is now referred to as North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia. they didn't just see these things as mountains, they saw them as living sacred land. Mist, valleys, endless ridges. Appalachia has always been a mysterious place. And if you're going to see a giant anywhere, this is where you would probably see it. Okay, so the Cherokee have a legend of a giant that is in their language called Sulkalu. It has been anglicized to Judiculla. Okay, so he was a supernatural giant. His very name is translated from Cherokee into English, Sulkalu to Judiculla, which refers to he had them slanting. Not slanted eyes, but the black parts, the pupils of his eyes were elongated like a cat, not round like a human.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the detail made him very unique when we're talking about Nephilim or giants of those kind of things. He was enormous, powerful, impossible to ignore. So the Cherokee legends say that he could leap across mountains from range to range from the tops of mountain peaks with ease. His voice rolled like thunder. But Judiculla wasn't just raw strength. He was a guardian. He ruled over the game and the animals and enforced the respect of nature. Hunters who disrespected the balance of nature in this land risked his wrath. So the Cherokee legend says that Judiculla predated humanity in the region. Judiculla was the protector, the guardian of the area, and he stayed to teach man as they started showing up basically on the land. So his role was to provide guidance, don't depopulate one species, make sure you're hunting with reason, using the animal and not just killing it for, using the whole ghost versus ghost hunting just for the, the fun of it. That's anyway. So he stayed and taught the early humans, the early Cherokee that were in that area, how to be respectful of the land. So there is, and so let's go ahead and talk. Let's bring up the picture of the first picture, the Judiculla. There's a couple of different variations of what's been passed on as, what Judiculla looked like. So in
It
most
looks
of
like me when I'm just waking up.
You. He does look like you. In most of the early Cherokee descriptions, he was unique in the fact that he had a little bit of a pointy-eared piece. He was a little bit hairy, but not like full-on Bigfoot. He was in the 10 to 12 foot tall range. He was very strong, and he did not clothe himself. So basically blue. Yeah.
Me when I wake up. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of like, the first description of him. But then as the Cherokee legend went further, more people would start to tell the stories. And now I'll bring up the second picture. So the more the stories got told, the more this Judiculla started to be treated like Bigfoot.
Okay.
He was more described as, 15 foot, 12 to 15 foot, Bigfoot, covered in fur, covered in hair, not fur, but still in that same protector of the forest ideal.
Okay.
So, okay, now we can come down.
Okay.
All right, so legend has it that there's a rock in North Carolina. That part's not the legend. This is actually true. There's a rock called the Judiculla Rock in western North Carolina. It's a huge soapstone boulder right here that there are petroglyphs carvings of animals in strange abstract shapes that don't really fit into any of the current known languages that may have been used at this time. So even the Cherokee, like, they think it's kind of reminiscent to something that they have seen in their past. The idea is that these are Judicula's rules for hunting. Don't depopulate, don't overhunt, be respectful, those kind of things. So the carvings and there's animals, and if you look in the lower right hand side, there is a carving of a handprint. So what the biggest interesting piece, and you said 6-fingered giant when you were talking earlier, Blue.
Yeah.
Judicula is said to have 7 fingers. So you will see a 7-fingered handprint in the right bottom corner there.
Okay.
So the legend says that there are soapstones all over Western North Carolina with these handprints of Judicula, because as he would, if you angered him, if you did not follow his instructions, he would leap. And then as he would land, he would put his hand down and his soapstone, and then wherever soapstones he touched, the people would mark it with the 7-fingered handprint to remind them that Judicula was always watching.
I think those people are getting into too much sugar cereal.
I think so. All right. So there are three theories about Judicula. The first of which is, I think this is probably this is the one that I ascribe to. He is a guardian spirit. Cherokee tradition, Judicula is a spiritual being, not a literal giant cultural symbol that represents balance between people and the land. And the petroglyphs are sacred reminders of that balance. I like that theory. I'm pretty partial.
I'm down with it.
Theory 2.
I can dig it.
Is Judicula is a Nephilim echo. And I had to look this one up because I'd never heard of this one before.
Okay.
Others look at his size, his otherworldly traits, and his role as a giant and think this sounds a lot like a Nephilim. The biblical giants born of human women and fallen angels, described in ways that overlap with Judicula, massive, powerful, enforcing boundaries. But there's a little bit of a cultural difference in the Nephilim versus Judicula.
Mm-hmm.
The protector spirit versus just a straight up, like, when you hear about the giants or the Nephilim, sometimes they're not nice.
Yeah.
Where Judicula was often seen as nice.
Until you pissed it off.
Until you pissed him off. So I like that one, but not as much.
Okay.
And then my final theory that I had to put in here because I had to. Ancient giants or lost people. There's the final theory that Judicula was an actual real person. A whole person. Not a Nephilim, not a spirit, not a guardian. But Appalachia has no shortage of stories about oversized skeletons discovered in mounds or burial sites. Most of these finds have mysteriously disappeared. Mm-hmm.
Much like this one.
Much like that one. But rumors persist. So could Judicula have been a real leader of one of these ancient tribes? His memory growing larger and more interesting, game of telephone, as the generations passed and became more of a mythic giant versus an actual person. So, in closing, so whether Judicula is a guardian spirit, a Nephilim echo, or even an ancient race of actual human giants, there's one thing for 100% certain. His story is an echo in the mountains of Appalachia in North Carolina. the handprint on the sandstone, school kids still get on a bus and take a 3-hour drive to go and look at it. The person whose land it was found on was a farmer. He donated that land and 100 acres all around it to the state of North Carolina. So it could be, you could create a pathway to it and a road and a parking area so people could see it, because they felt so strongly about the idea of having that connection to the land and having that protector spirit, that people in that area still kind of, they revere those ancient stories and ancient ideas. So,
well, I mean, anything to make a buck, but also to, you know, to show respect to something that is greater than yourself. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a public.
We don't know. We don't know
park.
what it is.
So just FYI, it's a state park. There is no cover charge to get in and see it.
True.
So,
but you know, the whole idea of protecting the land, protecting, you know, its basic nature, that it protects everything. You know what? I get behind it. I could see it happening. I could see something like that being out there.
Yeah. I mean, researching this one was kind of fun, because I had seen an episode of Scott Walter's series. Was it Exploring the Unknown or something to that effect? Where they talked about the Judicola stone and the history, and there's all kinds of stuff in this area, especially, you know, North Carolina, Virginia, that when you hear about it, you don't really, there's no explanation for how the hell this happened. There's caves or there's canyons in North Carolina, Georgia area that have what looks like runes carved, like Celtic runes carved into the walls.
I mean, even the presence of rune stones in all over North America, where they weren't known to have traveled to.
Right.
So like, I mean, it makes a lot of sense that there's a lot of mysticism, a lot of things that could show up in these areas.
My personal opinion is history is an evolving piece. It's not set in stone. So we are learning more every day. Every time someone is building a building and finds something underneath. It's the same thing like, what was it, a few years ago, where they were making a parking lot and they found Richard III. Like, we are learning history every day. So just because we don't have any evidence or any proof of a certain thing right now, doesn't mean we won't have something in a few years, 6 years, 10 years, 50 years, 100 years.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know,
Richard III was in that car park for a few hundred years.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and here's the thing. You always hear the history's written by the victors, right?
For the most part, yeah.
That's not true. History is written by the people that didn't have balls to fight. But here we are, finding out new and interesting things every day. I mean, finding Richard, I mean, that's one of the biggest archaeological finds of the century.
In a random parking lot.
In a random parking lot.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Hello. Oh my. It's the UK.
It is the UK.
We find random crap all the time digging up.
Yeah.
There's a government what is it called, branch in Italy, that, because Italy is what it is, every time someone this might be in the UK too, but every time someone builds in Italy, they have to have this government agency like do an observational like review of it to make sure that they're not ripping up some sort of important archaeological find before they like go and dig out something.
Yeah,
Like
we have it in the UK.
yeah,
I wouldn't be
If
surprised
you-
if the US doesn't have it eventually.
we
Like,
don't.
if you
I mean,
start digging and
we're
you
little
come
kids.
across something that's ancient,
Yeah,
you have to, by law, stop,
yeah.
and somebody has to go in and check it and stuff like that.
The only
As far as I
incident we have
know,
here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
as far as I know, there's only one place in the UK that you cannot, doesn't matter how much you want to, you cannot build on it. And that's a place called Blackheath Common in London. You cannot build on that.
Was it a plague pit?
It's the biggest plague pit in Europe,
So yeah, that's what I thought.
which is why you cannot
You don't want to
dig on
release
it,
that
because
back
as
into the
soon
world.
as you,
Mm-mm.
as soon as you open that thing, yeah, you're
that's
unleashing the
Pandora's
full
box.
force of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to
No,
release that back out.
I think our culture, the United States version of this land that we're on, is still only a couple hundred years old. But before that, there are hundreds of thousands of years of culture that are underneath our feet everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's so much interesting history. I mean, one of the things that you got to think about too is, as we go back, let me backtrack here to the whole Nephilim giant thing here in the States. There was said to be a tribe of giants that lived in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And they were described as having red hair, having 6 fingers, having double rows of teeth, that they were dangerous, that they were a very dangerous tribe of
They were man-eaters.
giants. They were man-eaters. And, we take it as a cute story. But then something like this is out there. This photo right here is one of the only photos of a giant skeleton that was unearthed here in the States. And that skeleton, shortly after that photo was taken, disappeared.
Yep.
So, are our governments and, higher ups trying to hide the fact that these things are out there? Possibly.
Don't even get me started on government conspiracies, because that's a whole nother.
That's a rabbit hole we could fly right
Oh,
down and be stuck there for days.
Days. That's
Weeks,
being polite.
months, years.
Yeah.
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 But when it comes down to it, these things are out there. There's many things out there that we cannot explain. One of them, I think, that we'll never fully understand until it's our time to understand it, is this idea of the Nephilim.
Agreed. 100%.
And, given that, the rapture didn't happen and I didn't get my target practice this week,
you know what?
I'm not worried about it.
Okay, so sidetrack. I'm kind of sad that the rapture didn't happen. And here's why. I have a theory.
Okay.
Wouldn't it have been nice to just not have those people here? Like, I'm an atheist. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying my ass right here. But
yeah,
just to, you know what? Bye-bye. Have fun. Bye-bye now.
Well, I mean, you just heard my opinion on it.
Yeah.
I didn't get my target practice.
It would have been nice just to there's plenty of housing now. We can get all those wounded veterans, their own homes.
Right?
Yeah.
since we, all veterans have basically,
most of us,
most of us have broken the one of the big,
7 deadly sins.
one of the big 10. Thou shalt not kill.
We've broke all of them. Come on now.
Well, we have done. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, we have.
Not all of them.
Quite a lot of them.
No, not the 7 deadly sins.
Hold on.
The commandments,
the 10
yes.
commandments.
The commandments, yes.
What are the 7 deadly sins?
Greed, sloth, anger.
Okay. Pride, yeah. Greed, yeah. Lust,
Mhm.
Envy, yeah. Gluttony, yeah.
Mhm.
Wrath, 97%. And sloth, yes. So all 7 of those, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm
not
here.
going anywhere either. My big ass is going to be here at the time of the rapture.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit back and watch.
It would have been awesome to just have some quiet time.
Right?
Yeah, but there's not a person on the planet can say that they haven't broken at least one of those.
Hey, you know what? I grew up Catholic. I'm better now, so just FYI. But
I know the feeling.
I grew up Catholic too, trust me.
So, I mean, seriously, as a little kid Catholic, whenever you did something wrong, if you broke a commandment, you broke a whatever, all you had to do was go and say you're sorry for it and say that you won't do it again, and then you're good.
Next month, Yom Kippur, the Jewish Day of Atonement. Fast for one day, all your sins are forgiven.
You're good for the year. So, yeah.
I'm good with that. I'll celebrate that.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
I fast most days, so
just me and my cats. And did you see the little cup I have? This is my new cup that has all my babies' names on it.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I got 8 cats.
All I got to say is, for the Jewish Day of Atonement,
I'll be Jewish for a day. I'm good.
That was easy.
I'm just saying.
That was easy.
I just kind of have this, like, my brain was like, oh man, maybe one of these days when one of these weirdos says that the rapture is coming, it'll actually happen. Man,
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you know what? At this time, stop pulling my pud and making me wish for it.
Right. Okay, so on that note, there is a movie that stars Anna Kendrick and the dude from The Office that I can never remember his name.
Okay.
Daryl from The Warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
It is a movie called Rapture Palooza.
Okay. Where
the rapture has happened, and the people that are left on Earth are now dealing with the devil, who is Daryl from The Warehouse.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It is hilarious.
I'm assuming you're on about The American Office.
Yes, The American Office. The reboot.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have to say.
All right. Well,
I'm going to Spirit Halloween in a few minutes to see if I can find some more Jason Voorhees accoutrement.
I think we can say without a doubt.
Oh, Phoenix.
Great show.
Phoenix. That is a good movie. Yes, it is. Rapture Palooza. Please go check it out. You will have wasted an hour of your life, maybe a little bit more, but it is hilarious. It's worth it.
Okay, folks. Well, that about wraps it up for us here at Cryptid Conversations. Join us next week as we discuss something else. We haven't figured it out yet, but we'll be back. Same bad time, same bad channel, only right here on Cryptid Conversations. If you're still here, please smash that motherfucking like button. Share it, subscribe.
Ring the bell.
Bing. Ring that bell for notifications. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next episode of Cryptid Conversations.
You can't be good, be bad. I forgot the thing.
Can't be good, be bad.
There, that one.
If you're going to be bad, at least fucking be good at it.
Yes.